Moody Margaret cast a spell. You are getting sleepy, said Moody. Margaret, you are getting very sleepy. Slowly she waved her watch in front of Susan. So sleepy. You are now asleep. You are now first asleep. No, I'm not, said sour Susan. When I click my fingers, you will start snoring. Margaret clicked her fingers. But I'm not asleep, said Susan. Margaret glared at her. How am I supposed to hypnotize you if you don't try, said Margaret. I'm trying. You just a bad hypnotist, said Susan sourly. Now it's my turn. No, it's not. It's still mine, said Margaret. You have. Here you go, said Susan. No, I haven't. But I never get to be the hypnotist, will Susan. Cry baby, Minnie. Cheater, cheater, slap, slap. Susan glared at Margaret. Why was she friends with such a mean, moody Margaret? Margaret glared at Susan. Why was she friends with such a stupid sour sucker? I hate you, Margaret, screamed sour Susan. I hate you more, screamed moody Margaret. Shut up, blam Roberts. Shrink her Horrick, Harry from his hammock in the garden next door, or the purple hen will make you walk the plank. Shut up yourself, Henry, said Margaret. Yeah, Henry, said Susan. You are stupid, chanted Rudolph, who was playing pirate with Henry. You are the stupid, slapped moody Margaret. Now leave us alone, we're busy. Henry, can you play pirates with me? Asked Perfect Peter, wandering out from the house. No, your puny pawn, screamed Captain Hawk. Out of my way before I tear you pieces with my hook. Mom, will Peter. Henry said he was going to tear me into pieces. Stop being horrid, Henry, shouted Mom. And he won't let me play with him, said Peter. Can you be nice to your brother? For one said that. No, thought Henry. Why should he be nice to that brat? Horrid Henry did not want to play pirate with Peter. Peter was the world's pirate. He couldn't sword fight. He couldn't swashbuckle. He couldn't remember pirate curses. All he could do was win. Okay, Peter, you the prisoner. Wait in the front, said Henry. But I'm always the prisoner, said Peter. Henry glared at him. Do you want to play or don't you? Yes, Captain, said Peter. He crawled into the lair of the purple hen. Being prisoner was better than nothing, he supposed. He just hoped he wouldn't have to wait long. Let's get out of here quick, Henry whispered to Rudolph. I got a great idea for playing a trick on Margaret and Susan, he whispered to Ralph. Ralph grinned. Horrid Henry hoisted himself onto the raw brick wall between his garden and Margaret's. Moody Margaret was still waving her watch at Susan. Unfortunately, Susan had her back turned and her arms folded. Go away, Henry, ordered Margaret. Yes, Henry, said Susan. No blinds. Are you being hypnotized? Said Henry. Margaret trying to hypnotize me. Only she can't cause because she's a rubber hypnotist, said Susan. That's your fault, said Margaret, glaring. Of course you can hypnotize her, said Henry. You're doing it all wrong. And what would you know about that? Asked Margaret. Because, said Horrid Henry, I'm master hypnotist. Moody Margaret laughed. He is too master hypnotist, said Ralph. He hypnotizes me all the time. Oh yeah, said Margaret. Yeah, said Henry. Prove it, said Margaret. Okay. And Horrid Henry, give me the watch. Margaret handed it over. He turned to Ralph. Look into my eyes, he ordered. Ralph looked into Henry's eyes. Now watch the watch, ordered Henry the hypnotist. swinging the watch back and forth. Rudolph, sweet. You will obey my command, said Henry. I will obey, said Ralph in the robot's voice. When I whistle, you will jump off the wall, said Henry. He whistled. Ralph jumped off the wall. See, said Henry. That doesn't prove he hypnotized, said Margaret. You have to make it do silly things. Like what, said Henry. Tell him he got no clothes on. Ralph, you a nudie, said Henry. Ralph immediately started running around the garden, shrinking. Yeah, Ralph. I'm a nudie. Give me some clothes. Help. No one look. I'm naked. Margaret hesitated. There was no way Henry could not have really hypnotized Ralph was there. I still don't believe he hypnotized, said Margaret. Then watch this, said Henry. Ralph, when I snap my finger, you will be Margaret. Snap. My name is Margaret, said Ralph. I'm a mean bossy boots. I'm the bigger bossy boots. I'm the frog face. Margaret blushed red. Susan giggled. It's not funny, snapped Margaret. No one made fun of her and lived to tell the tale. See, said Henry. He obeys my every command. Wow, said Susan. You're really a hypnotist. Can you teach me? Maybe, said Henry. How much will you pay me? He's just a big faker, said Margaret. She stuck her nose in the air. If you are such a hypnotist, then hypnotize me. Oops, now he was trapped. Margaret was trying to spoil his trick. Well, no way would he let her. Henry remembered who he was. The boy who got Miss Beetle eggs sent to the head. The boy who terrified the boogie babysitter. The boy who tricked the tooth fairy. He could hypnotize Margaret any day, sure, he said, waving the watch in front of Margaret. You are getting sleepy, droned Henry. You are getting very sleepy. When I snap my finger, you will obey my every command. Henry snapped his finger. Margaret glared at him. Well, said moody Margaret. Don't you know anything, said Henry. He thought first. That was just the beginning bit. I was complete. Part 2 once I have freed Ralph from my power. Ralph, repeat after me. I'm Sellotape. I'm Sellotape, said Ralph. Then he pledged. I'm Bobbin Sellotape. And Ralph. He caught Henry's eyes. They burst out laughing. Ha ha, Susan, for you, shrieked Henry. Did not, shrieked Henry. Did too. Na. Henry and Ralph ran around Margaret, whooping and cheering. Come on, Margaret, said Susan. Let's go do some real hypnosis. Margaret did not move. Come on, Margaret, said Susan. I'm a Sellotape, said Margaret. No, you're not, said Susan. Yes, I am, said Margaret. Henry and Ralph stopped whooping. There's something wrong with Margaret, said Susan. She's acting all funny. Margaret, are you okay? Margaret. Moody Margaret stood very still. Her eyes looked blank. Henry snapped his finger. Raise your right arm, he ordered. Margaret raised her right arms. Thought Henry. Pinch Susan. Margaret pinched Susan. Ow! Yelled Susan. Repeat after me. I'm a stupid girl. I'm a stupid girl, said Margaret. No, you're not, said Susan. Yes, I am, said Margaret. She's hypnotized, said Henry. He's actually hypnotized Moody Margaret. It was amazing. This was fantastic. He really truly a master hypnotist. Will you obey me, slave? I will obey, said Margaret. When I click my finger, you will be a chicken. Click, squawk, 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 cracked Margaret, flapping her arms wildly. What have you done to her? Wailed sour Susan. Wow, said rude Ralph. You hypnotized her. Horrid Henry could not believe his luck. If he could hypnotize Margaret, he could hypnotize anyone. Everyone would have to obey his command. He would be a master of the world, the universe, everything. Henry could see it now. Henry, 10 out of 10. Miss Buttereggs would say, Henry is so clever, he doesn't ever need to do the homework again. Oh boy, would he fix Miss Buttereggs' skirt? He make her do the hula in the grass cart when he wasn't running round the playground mooing like a cow. He made the hut Mrs. Abbott just have chocolate and cake for student dinners, and no PE ever. In fact, he made Miss Abbott close down the school. As for Mom and Dad, Henry have so as many sweets as you like, Dad would say. No bedtime for you, Mom would say. Henry, wash as much TV as you want, Dad would say. Henry, here's your pocket money, £1,000 a week. Tell us if you need more. Mom would smile. Peter, go to your room and stay there for a year, Mom and Dad would scream. Henry would hypnotize them all later, but first, what should he make Margaret do? Ah, yes, her house was filled with sweets and biscuits and fizzy drinks. All the things Henry's horrible parents never let him have. Bring us all your sweets and all your biscuit and a fizzy whisk drink. Yes, master, said moody Margaret. Henry stretched out in a hummock. So did rude Ralph. This was the life. Sour Susan didn't know what to do. On the one hand, Margaret was mean and horrible. She hated her. It was fun watching her obey his order for once. On the other hand, Susan would much rather Margaret was her slave than Henry's. Hi, Henry, said Peter. Hi, Captain. He took a step backwards. Law, High Excellent Majesty. He took another step back. We were playing pirate mutiny, weren't we? Die, worm, yeah, hurry, Henry. Leaping up. Mom, shrieked Peter. Another chapter, Horrid Henry and the Fan Manglers. Horrid Henry snatched his skeleton bank and tried to twist open the trapdoor. Mom was taking him to Twi Heavens tomorrow. At last, Henry would be able to buy the toy of his dreams, the dungeon drink kick, ha ha ha. The trick he'll play on his family, substituting their drinks for Dagger's stinker. Best of all, moody Margaret would be green with envy. She wanted a dungeon drink kit too, but she didn't have any money. He had one first, and no way was Margaret ever going to play with it, except for buying the occasional sweet and a few comics. Henry had been saving his money for weeks. Prophet Peter peeked around the door. I saved £7.53, said Peter proudly, juggling his piggy bank. More than enough to buy my natural kit. How much do you have? Millions, said Henry. Prophet Peter gasped. You do not, said Peter. Do you? Henry shook his bank. A tiny rattle came from within. That doesn't sound like millions, said Peter. That's called £5 notes. Don't rattle, stupid, said Henry. Mom, Henry called me stupid, shrieked Peter. Stop being horrid, Henry, shouted Mom. Horrid Henry gave the lid of his bank a final yank and spilled the contents onto the floor. A single solitary 5-pence coin rolled out. Henry's jaws dropped. He grabbed the bank and fumbled around inside. It was empty. I've been robbed. How horrid, Henry. Where's my money? Who stole my money? Mom ran into the room. What's all this fuss? Peter stole my money, screamed Henry. He glared at his brother. Just wait until I get my hands on you, you little thief. No one stole your money, Henry said, Mom. You spent it all on your sweets and comics. I have not. Mom shrieked Henry. Mom pointed at the enormous piles of comics and sweet wrappers littering the floor of Henry's bedroom. What's all that then? Asked Mom. Hurry, Henry stopped shrinking. It was true. He had spent all his pocket money on comics and sweets. He just hadn't noticed. It's not fair, he screamed. I've saved all my pocket money, Mom said, Puffer Peter. After all, a penny saved is a penny earned. Mom smiled at him. Well done, Peter. Henry, let this be a lesson to you. I can't wait to buy my nature kit, said Puffer Peter. You should have saved your money like I did instead of wasting it, Henry. Henry grew and spent at Peter. He was an Indian warrior scrubbing a settler. Yow, squealed Peter. Henry, stop it, shouted Mom. Say sorry to Peter. I'm not sorry, screamed Henry. I want my money. No more nonsense from you, young man. And we won't be going to Twi Heaven, said Mom. Henry scolded. I don't care, he muttered. What was the point of going to Twi Heaven if he couldn't buy any toys? Henry lay on his bedroom floor, kicking sweet wrappers. The danger drink kit cost £4.99. He had to get some money by tomorrow. The question was how? He could steal Peter's money. That was tempting, as he knew the secret place in Peter's cellar case where Peter hid his bank. Wouldn't that be fun when Peter discovered his money was gone? Henry smiled. On the second thought, perhaps not. Mom and Dad would be sure to suspect Henry, especially if he suddenly had money and Peter didn't. He could sell some of the comics to Moody Margaret. No, shrieked Henry, clenching his comics to his chest. Not his precious comic. That has to be another way. Then Henry has a wonderful, spectacular idea. It was so superb, and he did a wide wall stand for joy. That danger drink kit was as good as his, and better still, Peter would give him all the money he needed. Henry trotted. They would be as easy as taking sweets from a baby and a lot more fun. Henry strolled down the hall to Peter's room. Peter was having a meeting of the Best Boy Club. Motto, can I help? With his friend, Tidy Ted, Spotless Son, and a Goody Gordon. What luck, more money for him. Henry smiled as he put his ear to the keyhole and listened to them discussing their good deeds. I helped an old lady cross the road. And I ate all my vegetables, said Puffer Peter. I kept my room tidy all week, said Tiddy Ted. I scraped the bed without being asked, said Spotless Son. I never once forgot to say please and thank you, said Goody Gordon. Henry pushed past the barricades and burst into Peter's room. Password, screamed Puffer Peter. Vitamins, said Henry. How did you know? Said Tiddy Ted, staring open mouth at Henry. Never mind, said Henry, who was not a master spy for nothing. I do not suppose any of you know about the Flamanglers. The boys looked at one another. What are they? Said Spotless Son. only the slimiest, scariest, most horrible and frightening monster in the whole world, said Henry. And I know where to find one. Where? Said Goody Gordon. I'm not going to tell you, said Horrid Henry. Please. Oh, please, said Spollersome. Henry shook his hand and lowered his wife. Fram manglers only came out at night, whispered Henry. They slip into the shadow and sneak out and beat you. He suddenly shrugged. The Best Boy Club member gasped with fright. I'm not scared, said Peter, and I never heard of a Fram manglers. That's because you're too young, said Henry. Grown-ups don't tell you about them because they don't want to scare you. I want to see it, said Tidy Jack. Me too, said Spollersome and Goody Gordon. Peter hesitated for a moment. Is this a trick, Henry? Of course not, said Henry. And just for that, I won't let you come. Oh, please, Henry, said Peter. Henry paused. All right, he said. We met in the back garden after dark, but it would cost you £2 each. £2! They squalled. Do you want to see a Fram manglers or don't you? Puffed Peter exchanged a look with his friend. They all nodded. Good, said Horrid Henry. See you at 6 o'clock, and don't forget to bring your money. Tee-hee, chattered Henry silently. £8. He could get a dungeon drink kit and a crazy gold scrap box at this rate. Loud scream came from next door garden. Give me back my spade, came out Moody Margaret bossy tones. You so mean, Margaret, squalled Sour Susan's sluggy voice. Well, I don't. It's my turn to dig it with it now. Whack, track, wah. £8 is nice, thought Horrid Henry, but 12 is even nicer. What's going on? asked Horrid Henry, smirking as he laughed over the wall. Go away, Henry, shouted Moody Margaret. Dear Henry, echoed Sour Susan, wiping away her tears. We don't want you. All right, said Henry. Then I won't tell you about the Fram manglers I found. We don't want to know about it, said Margaret, turning her back on him. That's right, said Susan. Well then, don't blame me when the Fram manglers snack over the walls and rip you to pieces and chew up your guts, said Horrid Henry. He turned to go. The girls looked at each one another. Wait, ordered Margaret. Yeah, said Henry. You don't scare me, said Margaret. Prove it then, said Henry. How? Be in my garden at 6 o'clock tonight. I show you the Fram manglers, but it will cost you £2 each. Forget it, said Margaret. Come on, Susan. Okay, said Henry quickly. £1 each. No, said Margaret. And your money back if your Fram mangler doesn't scare you, said Henry. Moody Margaret smiled. It's a deal, she said, when the coast was clear. Horrid Henry crept into the bushes and hid a bag containing his supplies, an old torn t-shirt, some filthy trousers, and a jumbo-sized bottle of ketchup. Then she sneaked back into the house and waited for dark. Thank you, said Horrid Henry, collecting £2 from each member of the Best Boy Club. Henry placed the money carefully in his skeleton bank. Why was he rich? Moody Margaret and Sour Susan handed over £1 each. Remember, Henry, we got our money back if we aren't scared. His Moody Margaret. Shut up, Margaret, said Henry. I'm risking my life and all of you can think about is money. Now, everyone, wait here. Don't move and don't talk, he whispered. We have to surprise the Fram manglers. If not, Henry paused and drew his finger across his throat. I'm a goner. I'm going off now to hunt for the monster. When I find him and if it's safe, I whistle twice. Then everyone calm, as quiet as you can, but be careful. Henry disappeared into the black darkness of the garden. For a long moment, they were silent. That is stupid, said moody Margaret. Suddenly a low moaning groan echoed to the moonlight night. What was that? Said spotless Sam nervously. Henry, are you all right, Henry? Squawked Puffer Peter. The low moaning groan turned into a snarl. Trash, crash, help, help, the friend mangler after me. Run for your lives, screamed Horrid Henry, smashing Dot through the bushes. His t-shirts and trousers were torn. There was blood everywhere. The Bass Boy Club screamed and ran. Sour Susan screamed and ran. Moody Margaret screamed and ran. Horrid Henry screamed and stopped. He waited until he was alone. Then Horrid Henry wiped some ketchup from his face, clenched his back, and did a war dance around the garden, whooping with joy. Many, 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 he squalled, leaping and stopping. He danced and he pranced. He twirls and he whirls. He was busy dancing and cracking. He didn't even notice a shadowy shape slip into the garden behind him. Many, 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 mine, he broke off. What was that noise? Horrid Henry tried it. Nah, he thought, it's nothing. Then suddenly a dark shape leaped out of the bushes and let out the tenderest roar. Horrid Henry shrieked with terror. He dropped his money and ran for his life. The thing scooped up his bag and slattered over the wood. Horrid Henry did not stop running until he was safe in his room with the door shut tight and barricaded. His heart pounded. There really is a friend mangler, he thought, trembling, and now it's after me. Horrid Henry hardly slept a wink. He started awake at every squat and a crack. He shook and he shrugged. Henry had such a bad night that he slept in quite late the next morning, tossing and turning. Fist pop, guzzled Ben. Henry jerked awake. What was that? He picked his head out from the tender under the duvet and listened. Fist pop, growled Ben. Those fizzing and popping noise seemed to come in from next door. Henry ran to the window and pulled open the curtain. There was Moody Margaret sitting beside a large toy heaven bag. In front of her was the dungeon drink kit. She saw him smile and raise a glass of bubbling black liquid. One of Fan Mangler's drink, Henry, said Margaret sweetly.